education is all of it. And good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll for a Thursday morning. Drive carefully. That's our word for today. I guess drive carefully. That's 2 words for today. Drive carefully with the weather we have out there. And, of course, we're in here where it's nice and cozy. We have some great guests again coming on to talk with us this morning. We're going to talk, right now we're talking with Morris Engel about the seminar Microsoft Word. If you're into Word, this is really an important way to learn more about what's going on. We'll talk with Morris about that. We're going to be talking with Angie Wells about the therapy pool. They have some new items out there, bicycles in the therapy pool to help there, so we'll be talking with Angie about that. We're going to have the mayor on. Last Monday will be on. Tim Drigg will be on to talk about some projects in the city, and then we're going to talk about the Odd Couple. And, I grew up with the Odd Couple, but that was 2 guys. And the Odd Couple, this is really an odd couple. It's women. This one. And have you had a chance to know what it's all about?
Just one's a slob and one's a neat freak.
Yeah,
and,
like
2 gals, yeah. So
like
it should
Tony
be,
Randall was.
right,
and,
exactly, yeah.
Who's the other one? Who was
Jack Klugman was in there.
Jack Klugman was the one. He was a newsman, and he didn't yell. So Randall was a nice one. So it's the same thing with the women.
Yeah,
okay.
and that little slanted towards the ladies' issues. So
sure,
it
and we'll talk with
great, right?
We'll talk with Susan Mahaffey about that. Again, we'd like to thank the sponsors for making it possible for us to come in here on a Thursday and talk about things going on in the community. And again, dress warmly and drive carefully, and watching. It's worse further south and east, I guess.
Right.
Talking about the rain and the freezing rain and everything. Okay.
Especially from Salina south.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the East Center again. Okay. We had an open house.
We did. We had about 35 sign up and come in and visit us, and I think everybody was surprised, impressed. It
is an impressive thing.
Got to see what we're doing, and we have some resources for people who are wanting to start a business or improve some aspect of their business and find out more. Well, what I'm here today, though, is that as part of our services, we offer seminars from time to time, and the one coming up is on Microsoft Word. And if it's the main word processing system that businesses use, so if they're writing letters, contracts, memos, anything like that. And when we got to thinking about this, we were thinking about if you've been out of the workforce for a while and you need to learn Word or get refreshed on it, if you've had a job where you've not had to use computer word processing but would like a chance at a job, then often those pay a little more. This would be the seminar designed for you. So it's going to be a 4-session seminar. We'll start next Tuesday. That'll go Tuesday, Thursday, and the next Tuesday, Thursday, from 8 to noon. And there'll be hands-on. You get to practice. Cindy Hall's our instructor, and she's got a 30-year career in training, and she's developing, customizing this for us. There'll be handouts, and so she'll present a concept and talk through some things, and then you'll get a chance to use it. So if you've got typing skills, or you did the keyboarding when you were in high school, but boy, it's been a while. I can't remember for sure how to cut and paste and all that kind of stuff. Cindy's going to lead you through that, and hopefully by the end of the 4 sessions, you'll be able to put knowledge of Word on a resume.
Wow.
And we put in our ad, if you want to rejoin the workforce, if you've been out for a while, if you want to try for a promotion at your job or move up or over in a position, or if you just want to add to your skills, why this is for you. So
I go way back to ASDF.
Oh yeah, yeah, the old DOS commands.
Well, the pang. In fact, when I quit work, I was still using an old typewriter, because I'd like to take out my frustration. You can pound those. You can't pound these things.
No, don't do that.
You just touch them, and you write a whole sentence. I had a hard time with these because the touch was so. I like to hit hard.
Well, I go back far enough to where we learned to type on a manual, but as a reward for passing your speed test, you got to go play on the electric.
Yeah, I remember the electric could just come in.
Yeah.
I think we had one in the room, and no one got to do anything with it because, again, it was the touch thing. You touch it, and the whole sentence would type.
Well, it wasn't a sentence.
Okay, so
the other thing Cindy's going to touch on, in addition to the word processing, there's an electronic calendar that goes with Outlook that a lot of businesses use. So she'll teach how to schedule using an electronic calendar. And then also email contact. So the old Rolodex like you and I used in our careers, that's all on the computer now.
Okay.
But it's very much like a business card setup like you would do Rolodex, but you just access it on the computer. So she's going to have some update and information for the participants on that.
We ought to do a show here sometime on. Do they still use carbon paper?
I don't think so.
Do they still? Do they still use the
mimeograph machine?
Yeah, the mimeograph. They used to have the ones that had that terrible smell of the stuff. Mimeograph. That was the mimeograph was black print. And the other was, what was the other?
One came out purple.
Yeah, purple, right. And do they still use no, they don't, because they don't have that typewriter anymore. The typewriter with a little brush on it and a little wheel that had the eraser on it. You still it. Anyway, there's a lot of things that have really gone that I can remember how. Okay, so someone out there, and again, can they bring their own laptop or would it gather?
No, we're going to provide the computers,
okay.
And Cindy will actually download the files that you will need for that day.
Okay.
Right at the East Center, so we'll have everything ready to go. So what I need people to do, if you're interested, if or you know someone, contact me at the foundation, and that number is 540-4110. Or email me at pccf@ruraltel.net, and that's Phillips County Community Foundation, PCCF. And I might mention that we've made it very affordable, $25 for the whole 4 sessions, and you get the handout materials and a great place to study and learn and interact with the instructors. So.
$6 a quarter a day for 4 hours.
You can't. That's a bargain.
That's about a dollar an hour, $1.50 an hour.
And that it costs us more to present the seminar than that,
right,
but we've got some extra grant money that allowed for us to pay the instructors.
And there are other things coming up too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So,
we've got a lineup.
We'd recommend, if you're into Word, and I'm not, but this would be a good opportunity for you. I attended several classes over there to learn how to use a computer, that just bare bones thing, and that really helped. It really helped.
Yeah, if once you kind of are taught how and then practice, pretty soon you make your way around fairly well.
Okay, well, we're hoping Dolly Parton would stop by this morning with a special announcement, but Dolly won't be here.
Okay, I got an email.
Okay, from Dolly?
Sort of. As you know, she has her foundation provides free books to kids from 0 to 5. Right. Phillips County is one of the affiliates in that program. We have 150 kids now getting books. She is giving away her 100 millionth book this next week, and she's presenting that book to the Library of Congress.
Okay, wow.
So that just shows how her international program is working.
And it works.
Absolutely.
And it's great for kids. I would give anything that had something like that. When I was growing up, my kids growing up, my granddaughter's growing up.
Right. And we're still taking kids registration. You have to the child has to live in Phillips County. Go online to the Imagination Library, and there's a sign up there. You give the name, address, and birth date and that sort of thing. It's very simple. And then the book order will go out next week for the March mailing.
Okay.
So you can
wow.
still get in on that if you're not registered yet. And again, everybody gets the little engine that could the first time out. And
I thought I could. I thought.
Yeah,
I knew I could. I knew I could.
Exactly.
Wow.
And Dolly is really an inspiration, and she picks. Her committee chooses these books that are really wholesome, and we got enough bad stuff kids exposed to, but now this is
well, and once you're registered, it's automatic every month. You get a book a month free.
A book a month free until your 5th birthday, and then you're graduating.
And then I hope that the family gathers around and reads to the kids until they get to know it.
To read it on their own, or
and
you know how it is. I know with my kids, they had one favorite book, and you read that one a lot of times.
Over and over and over. Tom Sawyer. My kids, they knew Tom Sawyer front and back. They loved Tom Sawyer. I'd read a chapter a night to them, and then after you get all the way through, then we start all over. Read a chapter a night when they're lying there in bed.
I can still remember the first sentence. Tom, no answer. And his Aunt Polly was hollering for him.
And then I think we eventually went on to Huck Finn and all the other stuff. He was a great writer. Okay, so what if someone wants to, if they aren't in on the book on the Dolly, what do they do? Just talk to the
either
library?
contact me or go online to the Imagination Library, and it'll have a parent sign up place there for that. But like I say, we've and I want to give credit to the Hansen Foundation. They pay for the postage and the cost of the books. Cost about $25 a year per child.
Wow.
So, and they're doing it for all 26 counties in this region.
And the whole world too. I mean,
the programs go to, her books go to all of the United States, England, Australia, and
probably English probably.
Yeah, and 2 books a year will come out in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So
that's,
I mean, it's English, but there's Spanish.
That's great.
Yeah,
and
so we're trying to make it cross-cultural.
Okay, very good. Well, and speaking of Hanson, next week we're going to have Courtney's going to come on and talk about the scholarship program, which is another great Hanson thing. And it's, how fortunate we have a lot of good grant people in Phillips County. I mean,
we do, absolutely. Like Betty was saying last week, Betty Johnson about the strategic doing. We're the envy of Kansas because, someone says, well, how do we get Hanson money? Well, move to western Kansas.
It's amazing. But Courtney's going to come and talk about how that works.
Good.
So
all right.
So again, do it today or do it before next Monday because they want to get these classes going. That's a great idea.
You want to get a count, and like I say, just contact me at PCCF or call me at the foundation.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Thank you, Morris.
You
Drive carefully.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're going to talk about something else coming up here in just a moment on the Tadpoll. Reminder, the Tadpoll brought to you by Phillips County Health Systems, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, Stephen E. Rust, your State Farm agent, Sonic Drive-In, like us on Facebook to see our Sonic deals, Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street where the roads are paved with opportunity, Farmers and Ranchers Outlet, and J&R High-Vac R, they're making it possible for the folks to stay and watch what's going on in Phillips County in this area on the Tadpole on the Thursday morning. Well, lo and behold, who do we have with us this morning?
Well, your favorite person. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Long time no see.
Yeah,
you feeling better?
Yeah, last night. Yeah, we had a meeting last night of the Planning Commission, and did some work there, and we had a chance to first a little bit. What are we talking about this morning?
Well, I'm wearing a couple hats today.
Okay,
But first of all, remember last week when I said my grandson gave me this nice big, huge coffee cup?
Wow, yes.
I was telling you, right? There's
That
not
is-
coffee in there, but that's great.
What is that in there?
It's Gatorade.
Okay. That's a lot of Gatorade in there.
I
You could
know.
put soup in that, couldn't you?
You could put
Drink
anything. You
soup
could bake a cake. You could do whatever you want in there.
That's a big. That's the biggest cup I've ever seen. Okay.
It's pretty cool. I
Okay,
think
all right,
I'm very
fine.
happy that he gave it
And
to me.
it's
so.
got I heart you.
It can,
right?
yeah, I love you, yes, but can you imagine drinking coffee in that? You'd have to
Wow.
have the whole pot.
Gee, you
Yeah.
would have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It'd take about 5 carrings too in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and I'd be like I always am. Okay, so first thing we want to talk
Okay.
about
You've
is
had some coffee this morning.
yes,
take it,
I
haven't you?
have.
Okay, all
I
right.
have. I've had a little bit, not as much as that, but yes,
Okay,
I
all
have.
right.
Okay, so next week on March, we're having with the Phillipsburg Chamber of Main Street, along with the City of Phillipsburg, is hosting an open house at the therapy pool. Now you've been at the therapy pool,
Therapy
correct?
pool, that's great.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, it really is.
Yes.
I really enjoy it. You get in there, and it takes. You could do your exercises, and you don't weigh only a third or what you
Yep.
weigh outside or something.
Yep. Yep, it is wonderful, but it's going to be Thursday, March 1st from noon to 1.
Week from today.
Yes, week from today, noon to 1. Please come out, look at the therapy pool. They got these new bicycles
Right. Yeah.
out there that are really cool. I haven't tried them out yet, but I want to. Yesterday when I went out, and they're going to have refreshments and all that because it's the noon hour, so it's going to be really neat. Edie and Nikki will talk to you guys about the different things that they offer. The Mommy and Me class, I went out there yesterday, and that's what the little kiddos were, and I was thinking, oh, I was 20 years younger. Oh, these little babies and stuff. But, of course, I have 4 of my own, so
Right.
I'm good. But they were so cute, and then, I know all of them, and so I was just
Sure.
like, smile, and they'd smile, and it was so sweet.
It's
But
great we have that here.
it is. It's amazing. I mean, it is such a big deal and such a benefit for the town of Phillipsburg.
Sure.
And it's just great. And so we just want to invite people out, come out, check, there's classes. They do the swimming mermaids. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but they
Yeah.
do that. They do just exercise in there.
Sure,
And like
well,
you said,
Well, you go at the hospital. They set me with an exercise. They actually came over, worked with me for a session there in the
Good.
pool. Typed out all the stuff I should look at, and then each time when I go in, I go through all that thing. So it really
yeah.
works.
And when they put on the jets, and you go against the
Yeah.
jets,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
the
like,
jets.
it really, works yourself. Like you said, you don't think that you're working,
Right,
and it really does. But I just love it. I think it's really neat. I need to get
And you
back in
mentioned
there. And
Phillipsburg. Other county people come to other counties come in too, so it's availability, and I recommend this. So okay,
Yes,
open
so-
house a week from today, 12 to 1.
12 to 1.
Refreshments, and it'll show those bicycles are in the water, aren't they?
They can be. Right now they're out of the water, but if you ask them, then they will put them in the
They'll put them in the
water,
water for
and
you.
then you can use them. Yes.
Okay, all
And
right.
then all the different things. They're like I said, they're going to go over all the different things that you can do in the pool, all the different things that the pool's used
Sure.
for. So yeah, but it's great. The city of Phillipsburg is just wonderful, and we really want to educate people on what they do. The
Sure.
city is doing for us because they do a lot.
That is
So
great.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's going on March 1st from 12 to 1. And my next hat
Okay.
is after our meeting last night, I went to a post prom meeting. So
Okay.
I didn't get home till after 8. But
Wow.
anyway, post prom committee is we started Sunday. So we had a meeting Sunday and they had a meeting last night. And they sent out the letters for the businesses to donate if they want to donate to post prom. This is Phillipsburg's post prom. And, we always have that. It's April 14th is when prom is. And then we have the walk through up here at the
That's a great
courthouse
idea. That's
square. So post prom takes care of that. And then the kids go to prom. And then afterwards is when we have all the stuff for them. The inflatables, we have games, we have the photo booth, we have bingo, we have just food, we have lots of stuff to kind of keep them all there and just enjoy each other.
What? Back when I was in school,
Uh-huh.
post prom, you didn't have such things as a post prom party. In fact, what they did after they either, I'm not giving any ideas here, but they either painted the water tower after post prom. After the prom, they would go paint it, or they would go over to Dodge City, and there's always a carnival over there.
Oh, wow.
So that's what they. It wasn't the safest thing in the world. You don't. You climb a big water tower,
Yeah.
and paint it. I was never in. I was way to the bottom. I never went up there.
You didn't do that part, did you?
No, I didn't go at the top and paint Buffalo's 51 on it or anything
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
But
Don't do that. Don't paint the water tower.
speaking of buffaloes, this is kind of different, but we are having a mechanical bull there this year at
Really?
Post Prom. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So if you want to come out and ride a bull, Tad, I
Yeah.
can probably get you in.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I wanted to tell you that we meet every Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
now until prom at 7 o'clock at the East Bank, right here at the corner
Sure.
bank. We'll meet there every Wednesday. Letters, like I said, letters have been sent out, so be on the lookout, you businesses and stuff. But we will come in and we will beg you and ask you and plead and everything for prizes because the kids, they love prizes,
Oh yeah,
you know.
right.
And this is how many kids we have hopefully going to prom. 117
Wow.
in Phil. Yes, if all the kids go.
117?
Yes, we have 57 seniors and 47 juniors, and then we have 12 sophomore servers, so prom
Okay,
servers.
sure.
And then so if they all come
Well, then
and
that
they all
doubles
bring
that.
their dates, then that's 234
Ooh, wow.
kids.
Ooh, wow.
Yes,
That's great.
isn't that exciting? So I just think that's really neat. But yeah, 117 that could possibly go to prom if they're eligible. So yeah.
Did they have live music when you had proms, or did they go to disc jockeys? Stuff
We just play. They have a DJ. Yeah, they have a DJ at the prom and stuff. And then we have music going on during the post prom, and like I said, everything else that they do. We have an illusionist. You ever been
Yeah.
to an illusionist?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I had one did something with me one time.
Really?
I was a mud hen or something. He turned me into a mud hen. Quack quack.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have the illusionist and just different things for the
Sure.
kids to do. But it's pretty exciting to have that many, that
Sure
senior
is,
class.
and it's a good thing to have that.
Yes.
To get something to do. You're on driving around, and it's,
And the kids do a lot. I mean, we had a cantata meal, we had different things, but the parents really step up, and
That's
I'm really
good.
proud of all the parents. Rachel did wonderful at the cantata meal. I mean, she took charge and she did that, and I wouldn't want that job, so I hope she keeps it. And, I'm publicity, so
Oh,
I don't know
well,
why, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
publicity,
I kind of have
so
a feeling. I don't know why.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know,
But
Tad,
it really is, and the post prom came along at the right time and
Yep.
everything so.
Yep.
So-
So, well, that's all I have
Okay,
today.
yeah, all right.
Until
Well, I'm sure
next
you'll
time.
be here next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the can anyone belong? Is the post prom? Is it a group or as
Well,
many
we're
parents
asking-
as possible? How
well,
do you do this?
Okay, so we're asking like senior, junior, and some sophomore parents if they
Okay.
want to come. Sophomore parents are more for learning
Sure.
what's going on because we always have one person that either takes it on over the years, but we like to have it where they don't get burned out. So a junior parent
Sure.
will step in, and then another parent will step in, and it's just
Sure.
easier that way.
And I think it's important too to get the parents involved.
Oh, definitely.
With the kids.
Definitely. Well, that way they know, what they're doing and stuff. But it's just like everything else. I mean, we have the same ones, but we really, really, really want everyone to come. Please come, give your input. That's what we need. We need fresh ideas and just come and enjoy yourself and give us some ideas. So it's great. But everyone is invited. I mean,
Sure.
you're invited. Everyone's invited.
Okay.
If you got an idea, come to the post-prom meeting. So, yes.
They might want me to come and ride that bull.
That's right. I'd love for you to come ride that bull. Last year,
You'd have to help me up and help me off.
last year it was fun. I'm just so shy and just don't do these kinds of things. But yeah,
Is it-
but I did some of the games before the kids got in there because they were in prom and
Sure.
stuff. So I ran through the obstacle thing and I can't remember who it was. One parent and I, one of us were doing the jousting or whatever it's called,
yeah.
or the thing where
Yeah.
and so that was fun. But I like to do that kind of stuff. So it's
So
good.
now the funding comes from your fundraisers. Is that what
Yes.
happens? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Donations from the businesses. Just like you said, I mean, the cantata, we raise money, from that. Other things they do at basketball, the cake raffle, all that kind of stuff that goes into the post prom.
Don't they have
And
that
so they spend-
when they have the Christmas music? Is that what you're talking about? When they have the
Yes.
Christmas music thing,
Yes.
and
And it's the
that's what it is.
meal. It's the meal after it.
Right, you go get it. You
yes,
go pick it up.
yes,
That's
yeah.
the church. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cantata. Oh,
Yeah, that's the
a great
cantata meal.
idea.
So that money all goes into the post-prom account,
good,
and
yeah,
so it's just
sure, okay.
generated that way. And the kids, it's nice. The parents are there to help. The kids are there to help,
Mm-hmm.
and then people buy the tickets, and so it's just really nice. But yes, we need help. We need people to come. So please come every Wednesday
Get
from now on
involved.
and get involved. Yes,
Really get involved.
yes.
Because a sad note watching the parents and the kids in Florida last night. That's really a sad situation.
Mm-hmm.
But do things with your kids. Very important.
It is.
Very important.
Because you
Okay.
can't get that back.
Well, no, you sure can't.
You can't. So, yep.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
very good.
Thank
Well,
you.
I have a feeling maybe next week we'll be in here. We'll see.
Probably. Have a good day.
You're so busy, right? Well, maybe not because you'll be getting ready to do your thing down. We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay,
We'll
fine.
see.
Thank you,
Okay,
Angie.
thank you.
Well, that's a big cup. First National Bank and Trust, proudly supporting Panther Athletics, make it possible for us to broadcast the Tadpoll. From our sales floor, your delivery door, come see Jim and Terry at Olive Bowie Furniture and Appliances, where they provide gracious living for less. Sunburst Realty LLC, where you find the best homes under the sun. Professional Family Eye Care, see Dr. Juneman for all of your eye care needs. Coombs Trucking, you call, we haul. Wyman Firestone, tire sales and service, backing youth of Phillips County, and Biggs Insurance for all of your auto, home, business, and farm insurance needs. Let's get the powers that be in here with us this morning and see what's happening in the city. Are we going to get the mayor in too? Is he going to be coming in here? Okay.
I'll let him sit closer to you.
No, you sit right there.
Okay, all right, we'll get to some things we wanted to talk about going on in the city. Number one, we didn't mention this last time you were here, Mayor, but it didn't work Monday night, but you're going to be
Yes.
internet with your city council.
Yeah,
meeting,
we're
right?
working Civic Plus, who manages, that's the software we use to do our city site, and Civic Plus is working on the issue. I just found out. So
Okay.
anyway, we're waiting to hear back from them on what we can do to make sure we stream. Regardless, we'll, if we have to, My Phillips County Online won the bid, so we'll stream it on Facebook if we have to. So to make sure
Sure.
everybody can watch it.
Okay, very good. That'll be so you can just see if you can't make it, you can see what the city's
going
doing
on,
and
yes.
okay, what's going on. Tim's with us this morning, also the mayor. Who wants to go first? Tim?
I think just do your questions. I think
Okay.
we both have the answers
Okay,
for you.
all right.
So
Let's talk with Tim first. A couple of things, and there's other things we'll get as we get subsequent programs. But two things I've been hearing a lot about: the street project out here. What's that going to entail?
All right, so the State Street project, it's the first phase is going to go from the east city limits, which is just on the east side of 10th Street. It'll go all the way up to pretty close to the alley at Love's.
Okay.
This project will replace the pavement. It'll replace all the water line. We will do a little bit of sanitary sewer work that'll be done by our staff. It'll take care of a lot of the problems we're having there now. There's a lot of potholes because of the old brick streets that are underneath there. The council was able to sign off on our design agreement Monday night. That design agreement was given to BG Consultants. They're out of Manhattan. That'll be led by Daniel Monaco, who is our engineer. And we're excited to see that get moving forward. Right now, we anticipate that design to be done sometime in November, and then we were hoping to get it out to bid early December so we can see what kind of construction schedule we'll have for next year.
Okay, so what are we talking cost-wise, or is that too early yet to know what the cost?
Our anticipated cost right now, this is about $1,200,000 project.
Is it a 90-10 thing, or what?
It's a 95.5.
95.5.
So we was able to
Wow.
we were able to become eligible for a 5%
Wow.
payback on it, up to $1 million. So anything above $1 million will be ours to take care of.
And 50,000 below it.
Correct.
The million. Okay, so that's the other help comes from the government, the state
Correct.
government. Okay.
So that's an enormous boost for us.
Yeah.
In order for us to redo State Street completely like we had hoped, it's going to take us 3 phases. And each phase is going to be about $1 million. This will be new concrete pavement, and this will be a huge improvement to our infrastructure on State Street.
Question: people, coffee shop. They're going to close off the whole street, and there's concern about businesses along in there. What's going to happen on phase 1 then?
So in all 3 phases, we will maintain 2 lanes of traffic.
Okay.
We will maintain every access in and out of a business so that they will always have access in and out. It will create some challenges for some of those businesses during construction. We'll try to minimize those at all cost. But yeah, everybody will have access in and out. And, this will be a lengthy project. It'll last probably, I'm guessing, close to 8 months. And then phase 2 will pick up the next side of it, and we'll continue moving that west until we meet with the concrete down here at First National.
Okay, then, so will that be the end then? We won't go west anymore.
We are not currently scheduled to go with concrete pavement west. However, this summer we are doing a mill and overlay,
All right.
so it'll start there and go to the west side. So
Sure.
it'll look really well, and we're excited to have it.
And while you have
You might talk about cost on that.
We was very fortunate. So KDOT's got a mill and overlay going east or west of town, and they met with us last year, and we was able to work out an agreement where their contractor would just move that line up to Second Street. So it's going to cost us about $2,800.
$2,800.
That's
A bar.
ridiculously cheap.
It is. No, I know. I say.
We did the mill and overlay going north of town
Yeah.
as our Clink project,
Uh-huh.
and it was probably, I think it was a little over $200,000.
I was thinking 220,000 or something like that.
So
Oh wow.
this was a great deal for us to be able to negotiate with them, and a great bargain for our community.
Oh yeah, that's great. Man,
So-
20.
The only cost outside that the city will have is we got to replace a couple of the ADA ramps to make them compliant.
Sure. Yeah.
But they will mill and overlay, stripe,
Oh wow.
the whole thing.
The whole thing for 28. The mill. They're gonna take that stuff off, put new stuff on, and stripe it.
Yep.
For $2,800. That's unheard of.
That's outstanding. We're pretty happy with it.
I guess so. And that's how. Again, if something's going on in the area, if you could a lot of times hook on that,
Take advantage of the
that's how this works.
opportunity.
Correct.
Okay, that's great. Right. Getting back just briefly to the street, on the first phase 1, you're going to put all new water lines underneath everything. Obviously, it makes sense to do it when everything's torn up to do it.
Correct. Currently, our water lines are underneath the eastbound lane, the outside lane, which makes it incredibly difficult when we have a leak or need to repair a valve.
Yeah.
Because shutting down a lane of traffic out there is difficult.
Sure.
We're seeing more traffic out there all the time, so it makes those more hazardous for us to be able to maintain those lines. So when we replace those lines, they're all going to go out on the south side of the curb, so they're accessible for future use if we need them.
For years and years and years attending the city council meetings, the Quans Reservoir came up every once in a while. It's up there again. What's the story of the Quans Reservoir? And this is new to me too.
So Quan's Reservoir is a reservoir we acquired from the refinery back in, I believe, 83, 84.
84.
So it was acquired by the city. We incorporated it into our water use, and we have used it heavily over the last 35, 40 years.
Sure.
And for the last probably 20 years, KDHE has been telling us, you need to do something with it. You need to repair it.
Right.
You need to make renovations to it to keep it up to standard. We've been kicking that can down the road for quite a while. They have now got to the point that after it flooded in 2016, they have sent us a consent order that's going to force us to do something with it.
Okay.
They are going to force us to either take it out of service completely or replace it. That is an expensive project.
Yes.
That project's going to cost in the ballpark of about $800,000, and is a huge financial burden to the city. The city has been actively looking at ways and means to make those modifications, and we have agreed to enter in that agreement with KDHE to set that schedule of replacement. One of the things the council has done this last week was they are going to be moving forward with trying to go after a community development block grant in order to help maybe share some of those funds. So one of the things that come with that is that you're going to see a survey sent out. That survey is incredibly important in order for us to get some of that grant money. We look to be sending that out in April with our utility bills, and we'll receive that survey back, and we'll also do a major media campaign, and we'll be meeting with all the social groups and really trying to get the education out there why it's important.
It's important to fill. As hard as you figure 10 or 15%, that's good. People just don't like to do surveys.
They do not.
Now, we were successful on one, Fort Hays did. We were successful there. The last one, in my understanding, we were a little short on that.
We were a little short.
So when you get the survey, do it. That's
one thing we're going to try a little bit different with this one is after we receive the ones from our utility bills. The ones we don't have, we are going to be going door to door trying to help you and get you to understand the importance of it.
And the information there is not going to go here, there, or everywhere. That's the thing. That's the important thing. It's private information.
It is. And the city will maintain that information and for the use of the survey, and then it is discarded. So it's not something, the information can be shared.
And it's important that we want to get money for the CDBG.
It's
See that to raise taxes, so.
It's extremely important because the benefits of this type of survey is that it's not just a one project benefit.
Yeah.
If we qualify for this, it can have multi-year projects that they'll fund. And if I recall, you can get funding up to $600,000. Yes, there's a match portion of it, but it's got extreme benefits that can help our community.
And we've used those before.
We have. It's been several years since we've taken advantage of them. But I think we're in a position right now that we've got some things moving forward that this is going to be very beneficial.
How important is the Quan's Reservoir? Do we need a reservoir down there?
We do. This reservoir right now has a capacity of about 65,000 gallons. And, when we are running full schedule on summer, we just don't have the capacity without it. And the other thing is our well field is on the east side. You overpump that trying to force that head pressure of that water from that distance without having the additional reservoir. So it's just not something that staff would be comfortable with just leaving it out completely.
Our well's pretty good shape now. I mean, the water come up.
Right now, our wells are really good.
Yeah.
We've had some recharge over the last year. We was very fortunate to have some moisture last year, and with that moisture, we didn't have to pump as much water. I think last year we pumped right around 50% of our water rights, which it wasn't all that long ago. We were sitting here saying, "Please don't water your yards and conserve as much as possible." So we're in a much better shape than what we had been.
So such things are going along, and planning is going on there.
We are, and the city has changed their direction on a lot of the planning. As many people have heard, we've got these committees in place right now, and we're really using these committees to be able to funnel a lot of information through, and it's helping not only myself with our improvement plans, but it's also helping the council members be more aware of what's going on. And this helps us really fit into the direction we want to go as far as our budgeting. And this will really open up the information to our community about how we budget and what we're budgeting.
That's the secret to letting the people know what's going on.
I think you're going to see, with the direction that we see coming right now, that you're going to have a lot more information to you, and it's going to be a lot easier to comprehend than what maybe in previous years.
It's a lot easier to let the people know that on a Monday morning, State Street's going to be close the 2 lanes, you know, than to open this all of a sudden on Monday morning. You go down and what's going on here? You know, it's a lot better to get the word out.
It is, and you know, with all the social media out there right now, it's so much easier to contact people and funnel that information. And that's one thing over the last couple of months we've really been trying to do better at is, you know, broadcast that information out and make sure our community is aware of what's going on and what we're doing.
Okay, well, very good. And with the broadcasting of your meetings, you know, that's going to be. I was wondering how the seating is going to be, though. Does anyone have their back to the camera?
I've moved Tim up by me now.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be facing north, right?
Yeah, the new seating arrangement
That
has
used to be my seat. That a long time. That was my seat for years.
But we've been asked by the council to look at rearranging and actually redesigning the council room
Really?
to
Okay.
where it's more like your standard city council, where you have a
Yeah.
kind of a half moon
Well, it
of
makes
the
sense.
council
That's here.
members, and you have a podium for public speakers, and then you have seats for the
It
clerk.
used to be that way over here in the community building. And then they got the huge table.
Right.
I mean, you could land an airplane on that. On that table, that's a huge table, and so there's just a plan maybe going into that again too. So, okay, all right, great.
We're starting to look at those options. We're trying to figure out what is the best use of space for the city office to house that, where it's more of a permanent setting, and you know, it can also be doubled as our courtroom as well. So we're working with our facilities committee right now to get those plans put in place.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about this morning?
Well, I know
You
one
just-
thing else I wanted to put out there is some things we learned at this last council meeting. Chris Hugerton come to the council and was granted permission to begin the process with the high school soccer team.
Okay.
High school
they're-
age, yeah.
Wow.
Or high school age, yes.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be located on the property just south of the men's softball field out there.
Okay.
And so exciting new things going out there.
Okay. Now, you know, we talked about this the other night, I think, at the recreation meeting,
Mhm.
the strategic planning recreation meeting, is what it was. No, there's no commission yet. It's a meeting, strategic, and we talked about the fact that soccer's moved around a little bit. They had the east of the Catholic Church, and then that went by the wayside. And so, is this a pretty good place to have the soccer field?
Not long term.
Not long term.
It's a good place for them to get started.
Now, is that west of the cemetery there, south of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So as the cemetery grows, I mean that's
Well, they've
that's
already
planned
moved-
for growth
Right,
of the
yeah,
cemetery.
They've got
So
that
from
out there.
it's not a long term
Yeah,
solution.
sure.
But
It's a nice place for them to be able to gauge the interest of the program and see whether it's something that's worthwhile to keep for several years to come. So
Okay,
it'll be a nice addition for them to try.
that's great. Okay.
you just stay around here.
Okay,
We might have one.
okay.
In
We're
case I
gonna
can't answer all the questions.
get the mayor on there
So.
and talk about the big thing. Well, a lot of things happen. Everyone goes in, there's their own agenda and everything, and you've done that, and which I think, you know, gets the word out on yours on letting people know what's going on. That was one of your big things. And so
How we doing? Are we doing all right there?
you're doing fine. You're doing great. You really are. And as a newsman, that is, longtime newsman, it's appreciated. The information is very important. Okay. But I think one of the things is this economic. Now, this is not the Phillips County economic.
No,
this is something you may explain this a little bit.
So this is a city-focused economic development advisory board that the council approved, a couple meetings ago, and then I've been out busy getting representatives for each of the different sectors that they represent. So I'm excited to announce that we are full, as we've got everybody assigned to it. And I just want to tell you,
Could you give
some
us
of
a
the great,
list?
yeah, I can, and because I got it approved by the council on Monday. Okay, so Dustin Springer is going to be our industry rep, Taylor Redinger on finance, Jane Hawley on healthcare, Gene Bugby on agriculture,
Yeah.
Rhonda Kazee on real estate, Stacy Ricker on retail, and Dakota Wilkinson on millennial development. I think they're changing their name to Millennial Revitalization. So that's the focus group. That's the strategic
Sure.
doing initiatives doing of how do we get millennials attracted to the area as well as retain the ones we have.
Right,
So,
yeah.
and that group met, and she will be the representative to bring forward those ideas from that group on what we can do to retain.
And we're going to talk about millennials next week. I plan to do that.
So on top of that, we have the people that are in positions of economic development currently. We're going to be working, Max Dibble from a county commissioner perspective, District 2, will be on the board, as well as Nick Poles from Phillips County Economic Development. And then Angie Wells will represent tourism and chamber. And Morris Engel, who you had on here earlier, will be on the Phillips County Community Foundation. So this is a way for county and city leaders to work together, move in the same direction towards a common goal of revitalizing the area, growing Phillipsburg to be a better place, and work on infrastructure as well.
Sure.
I mean, those things that make a city great. So we will be having our first meeting in March.
Will it be public, open to the public?
Yeah. Yeah. I think all our meetings are open, aren't they?
Well, sometimes it's hard
The
to.
planning commission, anybody can come, can't they?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We have planning commission
Every
meeting
meeting
with
we have is, unless it's personnel driven, will be.
We're not going to ask for public comment.
Sure, okay.
But they can sit there and observe what our conversations are. It's not going to be private. We're not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this advisory board is a conduit who works. So we have a city council committee with Mike James and okay. So I got to take them back a little bit. Travis Stites served on as a city council member. He stepped down on Monday because he moved outside the city limits.
Okay.
Thanked him for his service. He did a great job while he was in there. And Michael Wisner, who works out at Prairie Horizon, he's a commodities guy out there. He has taken his place. We did a special meeting on Tuesday. I appointed him. It was approved by the council, so Michael Wisner will be on that economic development
Okay.
committee with Mike James. So as we come up with ideas where the city can help spur economic development, we will use that committee to bring it forward to the council. And I sit on that committee as well. So, but I'm going to be on the Economic Development Advisory Board mainly as a facilitator. I'll be a non-voting member that will facilitate the discussion and make sure we
we're
don't
in the
get
right
bogged
direction,
down and
yeah.
that we're headed towards the right direction, that kind of stuff. You need facilitation.
Sure you do.
So, and we have a lot of facilitators in the community, but I want, like Nick's a great facilitator, but I want Nick focused on what we're working on as an advisory board, because he brings a lot to the table.
Okay, I also noticed that you have committees for the water and the library and all this, and that's going to be more active too. I think it's my indication of what you told me last time. I think that you're going to meet. They're going to meet and everything. Right?
We are meeting a lot with them. I can tell you, we've met more with those folks in the last month than they have in the last 2 years.
Well, at the council meeting, they say anything from it, no, nothing on. And sort of just goes next.
One of the things we're really pushing is, from a staff standpoint, is to make sure that they are fully engaged and they're fully aware of what's going on. So everything that myself and Brenda bring forth that would go to the council will go through a committee first to make sure that they are on board with it.
What's going on.
And it's a great, for lack of a better word, a think tank for us. It's a great way to get our ideas across and look at things through different perspectives.
So you have a sponsor that brings it to the full council. What you don't want is the full council to get a bunch of information thrown in front of them and have them to make a decision that night.
Yeah.
And this allows us to work with specific council members who's been given the assignment. Unfortunately, Brett will say he's got a majority. He's got street.
He's got all the hard ones.
They got a lot of the infrastructure stuff. He's always giving me a hard
Sure,
time,
yeah.
but he's got broad shoulders, and I sure appreciate what he's doing. And he's got a lot of experience. I mean, he was on the council for 13 years or something like that.
It's
So,
good to have him back on.
but anyway, let's vet it out with that group before it comes to full council, and that way we've got it ironed out. And the council is a little bit more comfortable when two of their peers have already worked the issue, and versus just Tim coming with his idea or Brenda coming with her idea or me coming with my idea. So it works a lot better that way. And I actually, we've gotten some feedback from some of the council members that they sure appreciate the way they're doing that way we're doing it, because they're not having to make decisions like that overnight or
You
that
know,
night.
look into it, a little research or something, and then think about it a little bit. And just
It does, and it provides for staff. You know, it used to be we did a planning meeting or a work session meeting early in the year that kind of fed our budget and our plans for the year. This is more of a constant work meeting and planning session as you go. So it's not all generated into one tight time frame, and it allows for better processing of this stuff.
So Tim's worked with each one individually and went through his work plans, what he wants to achieve. We don't have all that money that he needs to be able to achieve those.
Sure.
So now we need to work, okay, let's cross the different groups, sewer and water and streets, and prioritize the budget that way. And then determine what projects will come forward. So getting the heads of those together, as far as Brett and Terry mainly, would be the two that we need to get together to prioritize the budget across that before we bring it to full council. So
It's also a very nice way when we get these things together that, you know, that information can be shared with the public, so they have an idea of where some of those needs are, even though we can't maybe finance them all right now, but they at least have that idea.
what's the procedure if someone wants to address it? Is it better? Do you have 10 minutes or time at the end of the meeting, or if someone wants to address the council, or do they have to have an appointment ahead of time to do
Well,
that? Is it better?
here's the way I've handled it as being the guy that kind of runs the meetings. Is they can contact Brenda or contact me to get on the agenda. They have 5 minutes public comment,
Sure.
and that we gotta limit it so we're not there all night.
You're there all night.
But if we have time left over, somebody comes in and it only takes a minute, I'll ask if we're running ahead of schedule, is there any other public comment out there?
Okay.
But you have plenty of notice if you want to get on the agenda. and we can get you on there up to a day before the meeting if you want to get on
Sure.
it. So don't think you have to have a 2-week lead time on it.
Okay.
So
But it works about better. If
it
you can
looks
do that.
better ahead of time, but we want to know. We're going to ask you for what your subject is you want to discuss with the council, because we don't want to waste the council's time. We got a lot of important people sitting around the table that have lives,
Right,
so outside of the city government work. So
I was talking to Tim, like, you had a meeting every night this week about having it, and you too.
It's been busy,
Yeah.
but it's a good busy. We got a lot of good things coming.
And you know, last night when the planning commission met, we're going through the book now, and it's interesting.
So that's another thing we did. We got the planning commission all. I finally have all my appointments done until April. Now I got 10 more to make. But last night we were able to swear in the planning commission, and I think let me help me if I miss anybody here. But we have Mike Earhart, John Wyman Jr., Jesse Fort Miller, Roger Jackson, Angie Wells, Rhonda Kazee, and Tad Phelps.
And I got a flag. I got an American flag out of it too.
One thing I'm doing that's a little
That's a good
different
idea.
is, we don't recognize people for their service. We cannot work this government. You can't have a city government without volunteers like you all, and we have to have that. I mean, you guys are busy. The planning commission is so important when it comes to the zoning ordinances, and as well as the regulations that we have out there. And they're going to be working on the comprehensive community plan next. So that's very important. And then we have a board of zoning appeals coming up, and I got Ken Stormont to work on that. Howard King has re-upped his term on it. So they have a meeting tonight on somebody who's needing to meet with them to But I'm excited about it. And we present them with a flag for their service to the city. So
I appreciate that, really do.
Yep.
And it means when you were delivering the pledge, and everything. That's kind of neat that you do that. You say you're going to do it.
All
What
city
should it be?
council meetings, we start out with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I-
I mean, it's kind of a standard thing that most government meetings do. So we brought it back.
Just don't ever have Fergie sing the national
No, we
anthem.
No,
I wouldn't even call it anymore.
Tim has a hidden talent. He likes to sing. So he'll
Gee.
be-
Oh,
I will definitely not be surprised.
oh, wow. Gee. Anyway, okay. Anything else?
We did, we took bids on the auditor as well as the budget, and we opened those this week with the finance committee. And Mr. Miles and the committee brought forth Mapes and Miller, and Mapes and Miller were awarded the job of doing our audit as well as our budget process. So that's good.
Okay, very good. Well, sounds like they're going well, and they've got a good start, and we appreciate you coming on here. I'd like to have you on here about once a month if we could do this. It's just kind of, maybe after the second meeting or something.
I think the second meeting, yeah, we're busy, yeah.
Visit and just talk about things.
Yeah, I think it keeps everybody informed.
Sure, that's
what's
the
going
more
on.
important
So,
thing. Yes.
we
Well,
appreciate the
thank you,
opportunity.
Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good day, and then have a
too.
good meeting tonight. All right, we're going to talk about the Odd Couple here in a moment. The Tadpoll also brought to you by all your friends at the Farmers State Bank, where interest begins the moment you enter the door. Interest in you. Mapes and Miller, it's not what you make, but what you keep. Mid-America Real Estate, providing the best homes in the area for over 40 years. Blossoms and Butterflies, making beautiful flowers and part of your life. Sign Solutions, your one-stop sign shop, so much more. Madison Motors, in business for over 70 years. And Rogers Associates, your local trusted choice agency. Okay, we're going to talk about drama here. And of course, Susan's with us. We learned all about China last week.
We did.
I had,
Well,
several, I,
some.
I had several people this week say, boy, talked a lot about China. I said, yeah, it really was interesting. I could have talked more on that. We're talking about the Odd Couple. Susan and Matthew, what's your job? Why are you here on a Thursday morning talking about? Are you the director?
I am the director.
Okay.
I don't know how much direction I give, but I try.
Okay. Enter stage left, right. You do all that stuff?
Pretty
Okay.
much, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So how's it going?
It's-
The Odd Couple. Tell about how's it going? Then we'll talk about the Odd.
It's going amazing. I've got a great group of actors, and we are having fun. We've got some vets. We've got a couple of rookies. And we're just going to town, ready
Okay.
to start productions next Friday.
Wow.
And we're going to have a couple of them here next week to talk to you
let's talk
too.
now. Will they be in?
Yep. I'm going to bring a couple of them on so you can visit with them next Thursday.
Okay, and they'll maybe give us some of their lines and stuff.
Maybe.
Let's talk about the Odd Couple. Now, I grew up with Tony Randall and Jack Klugman as the Odd Couple.
Now, this is Neil Simon's female version.
I didn't know he
of
did.
the
Did
Odd
he do a
Couple.
female? I didn't know Neil did a female.
Yep.
Wow.
So instead of Felix and Oscar,
Uh-huh.
it's Florence and Olive.
Okay, are the same? One's a little better?
Oh, one's a little messy and one's a little neat,
Yeah.
and antics ensue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been very, very funny. The actors have actually, even last night, were still struggling to make it through rehearsal without giggling at lines
Yeah,
of
sure,
their co-stars.
right.
So it's very humorous.
Okay, are a lot of the lines the same, like what the Oscar would say, or the women's lines?
Well, yeah, of course it's been switched for genders.
Sure.
Like instead of playing poker like they did in The Odd Couple, they actually play Trivial Pursuit.
Okay.
So, and there's some silly questions.
Sure.
And I did have to put a tagline on it. This production is not recommended for young audiences because it does contain adult humor.
Okay. all right.
Within the first couple of minutes, one of the Trivial Pursuit questions is, how many times a year does a penguin have sex? So,
How many times? What I don't know.
well, you'll have to come
I
to
have to
see.
come and see
You'll
them,
have to
okay.
come and see to find out the answer, unless you want to Google it.
Okay. Well, no, I'll be there. I'll be there. So how many do you have out? How many?
There's 8 in the cast. There's
Okay.
6 females and 2 males.
Okay.
My 2 leads are actually sisters. We've got Jessica and Hannah Pugh playing.
Wow.
Jessica is playing Olive, and Hannah is playing Florence.
Okay, Florence is
the
Florence
neat
the
one.
Phoenix? Is Florence
Yes,
the Phoenix?
yes,
Okay.
yep. So,
Okay.
and then their 4 friends that come and play the games
Yeah.
are Mickey the cop is played by Connie Hankey.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought my cheat sheet. And Renee is played by Rita Hobson. And Sylvia is played by Leslie Norton.
Okay.
That's really bad. It took me and it's Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah, it's
Ryan.
Leslie Ryan.
Okay.
And she is one of our rookies. This will be her first
wow.
Phillips County Arts Council performance.
Okay.
And then we also have Caitlin Sisler playing Vera.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got a wide range, and they're all doing just fabulous and play off each other so well. So it's super exciting.
It's the same premise like
Recently divorced,
and all that.
moving
Okay.
in together and
Yeah.
driving each other up the wall.
Right, okay.
Yep. And then the 2, instead of the sisters, there's 2 brothers. They're the Costazuela brothers, and so they have a Spanish accent. So of course there's language confusion,
Sure.
which is humorous on itself. And those 2 characters are played by Dave Jerby. He's playing Manolo Costazuela, and then Kevin Wilson is playing Jesus Costazuela.
Okay. All right.
So
Jesus.
not Jesus.
Yeah, it says Jesus.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's part of the comedy in the play
Okay,
as well.
right,
So
right.
wait, Jesus? No, it's Jesus. Wait, that's Jesus. No, it's Jesus.
Jesus.
So,
What about the scenery and so on? Does it take place?
It's all in the apartment.
In the apartment. Okay. So that makes it fairly easy to kind of keep things together there, doesn't it?
well, I don't
Maybe
know. The
not.
first act there is quite the mess going on
Really?
in Olive's
Okay.
apartment. So there's newspaper piles and mail and
And he wants to get it cleaned up.
and fast food wrappers.
Yeah. So if it's like, odd couple of female, and I wasn't aware they even had that's kind of a neat deal, I think. That,
Oh yeah, it's
the
super
female.
fun.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's nice to have a little bit of a change up and refresh an old.
How long have you been doing your show?
We did the tryouts in January, mid-January, and so we've been working on it since the end of January. We're coming down to crunch time, but they're rolling along just fine.
It's a week from tomorrow night, Saturday
It's
night.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next weekend, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of March.
Okay.
So Friday is at 7, Saturday is at 7, and Sunday is at 2.
2, okay.
And we actually, to help promote the play, I've put up boxes at 6 different places in town where you can enter over the next week for a family season pass to the Phillips Theater Arts Council.
Oh, okay.
Or for the whole Arts
step,
Council,
yeah,
not
Arts-
just the Theater Arts
yeah.
Council. And that gets you admission into all the community theater productions. It gets you into all the professional shows
Right.
that are shown at the Huck Boyd, and then you also get discounts at the fine arts classes throughout the season.
Sure. Yeah,
So
that's a great.
it can be a family membership or an individual membership, but you can register for that drawing at White's Food Liner, at Hometown Grounds, and then at all 4 of the banks at Golden Plains, Farmers National, Farmers State, and First National.
So you can register there, and no charge, just
No
register.
charge, just there's a box with a form that
Okay,
says
wow.
enter for
Okay,
the
so-
drawing, and we'll have the drawing next Wednesday morning, and that way you've got plenty of time to come pick up your membership so you can make it to the play next weekend.
Okay, very good.
So, and then adult tickets are $8, and children 6 to 18, students 6 to 18 are $5. And then, of course, we love to promote the memberships.
Of course, you can join that night.
Right. You can join. You can buy a membership that gets you into all those productions and discounts on the classes and whatnot. And if you have a family, it's an amazing deal for you
sure
to do,
is.
because I believe I should have asked Morris and written down. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure that the family memberships are $50 and an individual is 25 or 30,
Something
maybe
like that.
something
I
like
always
that.
get individual. I think it's 25 or 30
Yeah.
or 20 something.
I think it's 25, but it may be 30. Just to cover
I think
myself
it
on
may
the
be
safe
30,
side.
yeah.
But a family
But the
membership,
family, yeah, I'll get the
a
whole
family
family.
membership for $50.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you go to both, of the Arts Council productions, that pays for itself.
And then, of course, all the
Professional
talent,
shows, exactly. All the professional shows they have throughout the season, that gets you into all of those for free as well.
Rehearsals
So.
going well.
They are. They really are.
You get the
They-
laughing.
Oh, so much fun. And, I yelled at them last night because they've been laughing at each other and reacting to each other
Sure,
like
yeah.
they shouldn't be laughing at one another with these. But I'm sitting in the audience just stifling my laughter because I need to keep them focused. But yeah, it's going to be really good.
Okay.
They're doing a fabulous job, and they put forth so much time and effort. And of course, it's all volunteer. So I'm really grateful that everybody was able to join and come in and do this. And
Okay, well, we plan on you next week here.
yes, sir.
Now,
Yep.
I've heard rumors
Uh-oh.
that the summertime is going to be the Wizard of Oz.
It is going to be the Wizard of Oz. Sarah Rudd will be directing that the summer musical, and it's going to be
2
the
weeks
Wizard
ago,
of Oz.
the Wizard of Oz was at Hayes.
Yep,
I
at
went
Fort
down
Hayes.
for it. I went
Did
down
you?
for it.
I wasn't
went
able to make it. Was it amazing?
It was amazing. How
I'm
are you
jealous.
going to make the monkeys fly?
I'm not director.
Okay,
I don't know.
I mean,
don't
it was the Tin Man. It was really worth the trip down the encore series at Hayes. I've a season ticket. I went on all the encores, and it was amazing. The talent and live orchestra. They had live orchestra, and it was special. But I was sitting here. How are they going to get the monkeys to fly around here and the tornado come down?
Yeah, that's not my circus. I don't know.
Okay.
Sarah Rudd will do an
I'll be
amazing
talking-
job with all
I
the
don't-
magic
I
on
don't
that
know.
one.
I'll have to ask the next time.
To be honest, this has been really overwhelming because I'm a first time director. I've never done
Really?
this before.
Okay.
So it's been a major learning experience. I kind of want to go back to just being an actress and going, all of this happens magically and I don't have to know how or why it happens.
I would think that would be very tough. Well, anyway, thanks for coming. We'll look forward to next week.
Absolutely.
And we'll see who the messy one is and who the neat one is. And
Now I won't have Florence here next week because
Okay.
she couldn't get off work. But
Okay.
I will have my messy Olive with
You'll have
me.
Messy
I
with
will
you.
have the messy one
and who
here.
else? We have some others.
There's going to be a couple of people,
Okay,
a couple that
okay,
can make it. So I'm going to try and wrangle a few more strong
Okay.
arm.
Well, bring them in. We'll have
Yeah.
a good time. Okay,
So-
fine.
oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We hope that things go well. And your dress rehearsal is probably, a week from tonight?
We're doing two because
Oh,
there's
two.
so many costume changes. We're going
Really?
to do them on Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, all
So,
right.
yep,
Good. All
yep.
right. Well,
So,
good luck, and we'll see you next Thursday.
sounds great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sarah. Have a great day.
And be sure to wear those all the 4 banks
Hometown Grounds and Whites.
and register for a family membership.
A family membership or an individual, whoever,
Membership.
whichever.
However signs.
Yeah,
Whoever
if
wins.
you win, you can have an individual.
Okay.
If you win, you can have a family.
Okay,
There
all
you
right,
go.
fine. Thank you.
All right,
Susan.
thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Oh, you tell things really moving here in the city of Phillipsburg, and I look forward to that next week. Getting the Odd Couple, the female version of it, on here. Well, that does it. Next week we have we'll be talking with. I think we have CASA planned for next week to talk about their things going with CASA. Also, we're going to be talking about the Hanson Museum scholarships, and we'll have some other things by then, I'm sure, to come on and talk about what's going on here in the city of Phillipsburg. Again, we appreciate the sponsors who make it possible for us to come in here and do this Saturday morning sports talk. We'll be next door, and we'll be talking. We'll be looking at wrestling. That'll be after one day of state wrestling, 321A at Hayes. We'll be looking at that in a little bit of detail, who's still in and who's going to be wrestling. And also we'll be with the girls and boys basketball at Phillipsburg High School. They end their season tonight. See, Monday night, the brackets are out Monday night, Phillipsburg plays Norton here at 7, and Tuesday night Phillipsburg girls go to Norton and play at 7. That's tournament play. So it's by the Kansas State House Activities Organization. None of your passes will get you in for that. This money now goes to the state of Kansas on for Acacia. And there's a lot of other games, of course. All the brackets were released yesterday for around the state of Kansas. So anyway, we'll see you next Thursday morning here on the Tadpoll.